good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to VIOC in Action. This is your boy, better known as Leon Hunt, and Mr. One Time for the One Time Ras Bookie. Can't quench. Welcome back to the show. This is your hour-long radio program that focuses on the Virgin Island Olympic sports and Virgin Island Olympic athletes. Topics and conversation includes at any moment of the time health, coaching, athletes update, and number one thing, our Olympic movement. So as we know in the territory, it is the fall season and there's a lot of people. Let's see, we got a lot of base training going on, we got a lot of preseason. So we got a lot of action going on, and next year 2020 is the big year because that's Tokyo Olympics. So that's going to be a huge year, and of course, just like any other show, or at least maybe not one or two of them, but just like any other show, we got a special guest on the show today. He's known as Mr. Slaterville. Mr. Brian Slater, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, BS, Mr. Slaterville? What's up, going? Everything safe or?
Yeah, everything good, man. How's everything with you?
Good, man. I am here in the Virgin Islands soaking up the heat. We've been having a nice little heat wave. I ain't complaining because I know up north the weather is coming soon and I ain't want no parts of it. And I'm good.
Down south.
Exactly. So wait, so where you at now anyway?
Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Hilton Head, South Carolina. So I'm assuming that's your training base now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, for the people who don't know who Mr. Slaterville is, or Brian Slater, Brian Slater joined our track and field our national team. I could be wrong, in 2015.
Yep.
All right. So I good. All right. So 2015 and 19, all good. So about 4 years. So this is your senior year then. 2015. That was good. Let me see. Slater. Well, all right. So before we get ahead of everything, let's go with who is Brian Slater. Who are you? If nobody know who you are, this is your moment to tell everybody who you are, where you from, just everything. So give us a little background detail on Mr. Brian Slater.
Well, most of my family is from Christiansted.
Okay, the man from Cruz. Yeah, the man from St. Croix. That's what we say, my boy. All right, now we talking good. All right, go ahead.
But I was personally born in the Bronx in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And
You was born in the Bronx in New York City, and what happened?
from GI in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And basically just been moving back and forth from Christiansted to New York City, probably growing up the first couple of years.
Okay.
And then started middle school in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Then stayed there all through basically the rest of the time being.
Okay, so you pretty much raised.
Visit as much as I can.
So pretty much you born down here in the Virgin Islands. Well, you born in Bronx. Your family from here, so you're going back and forth for the first couple of years. You get to middle school now.
Yeah.
After you learn your mannerism from the Virgin Islands from young, and you take that what you learned from there, gone to middle school. How was it at that particular age, if you can remember that age, transitioning from the Virgin Islands into the Bronx, New York? I mean, we talking about New York. You gotta be ready to rock and roll, and we talking about being in school where they transitioning. Although I don't really think, maybe I could be wrong, I don't really think that they maybe had too many Virgin Islanders at that particular time in Bronx, New York, as a middle schooler or going into high school. So tell me more about that.
No, not really. And it was an easy adjustment just because of how my mom prepared me.
Uh-huh.
Just being, I didn't, like you can hear it now, the dialect in my accent ain't that strong.
Right,
so
right.
Still, it was more of that New York tone that I had from the beginning. So it just basically fit right in.
So you just fit right in with them, man, but you done learning mannerism from back home. So they probably was like, oh yeah, Mr. Slater, man, he's very respectful. He said good morning and good evening, good night to everybody.
Right,
and
yeah.
Thank you, Miss. And yeah, you see that, people?
Right.
Lots of mannerism come true from the Virgin Islands that take you very far in life. All right, so that happened there. You gone through high school. Did you play any sports in high school?
I played football in high school.
Okay, so you used to be a football man. Tell us something about. Okay,
Yeah,
so you the run track? No, yes, but tell us. Okay, so run track and I mean, you used to be play football in high school. What position?
quarterback.
Okay, so you was the Mr. Prime Time. That was the QB's the guy that run the
Yeah,
whole team. All right, got that. I got that. Did you go to university after that?
yeah. So I didn't get recruited for football, so I took a year off, and then I went to a school named Keystone College, which is in La Plume, Pennsylvania.
La Plume, Pennsylvania.
It's the literally the middle of nowhere in Northeast PA. So the closest prime time city is called Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Okay. So I kind of. Let me say I'm really good with this geography. Okay, so if we're talking about Pennsylvania, right? We got everybody know Philadelphia. All right, so you go north of Philly, you gonna get to some place called Erie. Am I right or wrong?
That's a little too far. That's west. So that's going a little towards.
Okay, so we ain't going that way. So we're going not like we're going to what we talk about Scranton is New York still. So right? Scranton is in New York.
So we going from Philly to Ithaca. So that direction.
Okay. I got you. So we're going like straight up that area, which is I think is Interstate 81.
Yes.
All right. See, I told you guys, people. I know this stuff, man. All right. So we're going straight up 81. We're gonna pass Keystone College. What division was that school?
It was Division 3.
Okay, so we got Keystone College D3. And what was your degree program there?
I double majored in sports recreation and management, and then sports tourism.
Oh, nice. I like that. That's pretty interesting, especially being what you're doing now. Love it. All right, so how was your experience there then? So you got there being a football player, then get recruited football. How did track and field enter into that realm? I'm assuming because now you was a walk on.
Yeah. So I tried out to make the first. I tried out to for soccer.
Okay.
Just thinking that just the conditioning from football would allow me to give me the endurance for soccer, but they already had a full roster when I got to school.
Mm-hmm.
So the coach suggested that I tried out for track, and I went to that same week. I had to do 2 practices with the team just to see if I can keep up with the condition and for them to make that determination and make the team.
Okay.
So from there I stayed on the team, but it was a big culture shock because there wasn't too many people that looked like me that went to the school my first year there.
Okay. So wait. Okay, so you got it, and this is your freshman year, right?
Yeah, this is my freshman year.
Okay, so this is a guy, a young man coming back and forth to the Virgin Islands to middle school, gone through New York City, in the Bronx, from New York City, in the middle of nowhere, Keystone College Division 3. Wanted to play soccer, wanted to play football, but couldn't get into football. Probably wanted to play football. Then went over to soccer because he figured the conditioning. Couldn't get on the soccer team because it was too full. And then tried on for track and field. Now we get culture shock. This is what we got to go into because a lot of people we don't really get a chance to speak to the athletes or at least the individuals about how are you being affected by being culture shock and why this being culture shock. Explain to us exactly what you mean.
Well, so this is the first outside of like day summer camps and things like that. This is the first time me being on my own, so no parents around. Within like three and a half hour distance.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, it wasn't too many people that looked like me staying on campus at that time. It was about 5 or 6 total, with about 250 to 300 people staying on campus.
Mm-hmm.
That first year I was there, so it's about like the basketball players and then me.
All right, so that seems to be one of the stereotypes, like everybody would say, is that a colored person usually plays sports. It's going to be basketball, track and field. And my friend, you was one of the 2. So there it is. That was true. And it was only 250 students at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lived on campus, so they had, because it was a kind of a local school they had a lot of
Oh, okay, I got you.
kids
I
coming
got
in.
you. I got you.
So
I
like
got you.
it was still when I came in, they were in that transition of still growing. So they were still in the process of building some more dorms and things like that.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, so this makes sense. No, what year was this? No, like what year was your first?
2000 August 2010. No, 2009. August 2009.
Okay, August 229. Okay, 2009. Oh wow! Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, I remember August 2009. I must have been a. Ooh, it says. Oh yeah, I was just a sophomore. I was just a sophomore. Was second semester sophomore in school, which at this time I was at Virginia State, so it had many people that looked like me, because I
Right.
went to a HBCU. Um, so nah, okay, okay. So you got through there, no. So you've been on their track team for the all years when you went to the school. How were you on the team now coming in? Like, was you like, what events did you do at the time? How did the culture shock still change? It was like, oh yeah, this is Brian Slater, because he's a color guy. He must be faster than everybody. So what was like the stereotype? Like what happened during these moments in '09 on to quote unquote 2013?
Well, my freshman year, we were really cross country strong. So
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot more distance runners that were there. When I came in, I was looked at as a multi event. So that was gearing more towards the decathlon.
That's because you could just do
So
anything, being a football
it was
player.
just it was good just to find my placing.
Oh, so you didn't even know about track and field. You just know, okay, I can go
I
for track, but you didn't really.
I knew about it.
Uh huh. Wait there, you gone. Hold on there, hold on. All right, we seem to be missing Mr. Slater. Something wrong with the connection. So in the meantime, like I was saying, so we try to figure out know that so Brian went to school. He knew about track and field, but it necessarily not really knowing track and field. Yes, or at least the events in quote unquote track and field, because usually when you come into being track and field, you already been designated with a particular type of event, whether if it's a sprinter, jumper, long distance, whatever it may be. Mr. Brian.
I'm here.
All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so now I would just explain to everybody that okay, go ahead, tell us. So you went into Maltese and then what?
So then at that time we were transitioning coaches. So I coach my freshman year coach was going to a different location.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to part mutual ways with our coach because he wasn't really helping develop the freshmen that came in. Because I came in with a group of about 8 or 10 kids.
Okay.
So we had a new coach come in for going into my sophomore year. And his name was Michael Badway.
Okay.
So having decent discussions with him over this summer, going into my sophomore year, decided to go into just sticking to just doing the 100 and 200.
Okay, so sophomore year, we're going into being a sprinter pretty much.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, so then fast forwarding from we do for this particular part, we're gonna fast forward from sophomore year. Let's go straight on into your senior year. Big man on campus. Tell me about that. Did you make it to nationals? Did what was your highlights during this particular time?
So that senior year is when I finally started to understand his program because it took a couple years just to get in shape, understand the fundamentals, the way he taught them, and figuring out my placement as far as how conference went, how to figuring out the qualifications for nationals and things like that. So what he did to prepare us for those things is we didn't run any Division 3 meets. We did all Division 2 or Division 1 meets just to have a high quality of competition.
Mm-hmm.
So my senior year there, I was placing at least the top 10 or top 15 at every meet.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went to conference, it felt, I don't want to say easy, but it wasn't. You didn't feel any pressure going into conference because you were competing at such a high level all year. When you went into conference, it was just another day.
Okay, that makes sense. So, good thing. All right, so a good point that you made. So a lot of people don't understand that it takes years to develop an athlete. Although some people may already be that guy, that awesome person, that awesome athlete, him or her, freshman year coming in, he's already going to nationals, right? Um,
Right.
Chance of that happening, yeah, it is many of them, but a lot of times the individual is not that person, and it takes time to get to that particular point. um, so people, well, at least for our listeners who are, I guess, let's say from K through 12 and entry level to university now, the programs are set up there so you can get there, and the coaches are there, and just as you said, you had problems understanding his program, but you finally got it, and then you got to that point. So you got to be coachable for one as an athlete to buy into his system and not going against his system, believe, trusting the coach and so forth. And then he have to actually really do have one. So it's kind of like, it's like a catch-22. You could believe somebody and they completely don't have an idea or clue what the heck they doing, or the other side, you do believe and trust that person, and then you become, okay, great, I finally got it. It took me 4 years, but I got it. So
Right.
and now I do think whatever it may be within an athlete, I just think that you have to be knowledgeable or be willing to learn whatever it may be. If you want to do a particular sport or anything that you want to do, really think about what that is, and you study that program too. And there's nothing wrong with questioning the coach or your coach in that situation because you want to better yourself, and that's cool. And taking these markers of measuring your talent as time goes on is very important because you need something to measure to, or else you'll just be a GPS with no destination. So
Right.
I think that's cool, and I'm glad that you was able to be a part of a program just like that. And just as we said, just as some people who was already even on the top, they have a lot of stuff to go to because there's many number ones out there, and they all have to go against each other. And usually, when you get up to number ones, is those fine tunings that you got to do to really make you the number one. You know.
Right.
All right, cool. I love it. I like it. There it is. So we learned this stuff in senior year, and then what?
So I go into conference and I end up winning conference in the 100, 200, and our relay 4x1 came in second.
Oh, nice. All right, so
And then with how conference works with Division 3, if you win your conference, it's an automatic bid to nationals.
Love it. And I think that's hey, I think in any conference that should be it anyway. If you win it, why not go? Because chances are you ran a good time anyway. you know?
Right.
So you at nationals now. Congrats on making the nationals back then in 2013. Um so how was that then? Because when I experienced, I mean, this show ain't about me, but I do know nationals is one of those things where now we got all the great number ones in one place. How was your experience then?
The experience wasn't that great because I wasn't able to compete in it, being injured.
Ah, okay, I
So
got you.
just being overworked, our school had limited resources, so we didn't practice on the track. We practiced on basically the concrete in front of the gym majority of the time. And then a lot with it being cold weather with a lot of snow and snowstorms, we were in the basketball gym a few amount of the times during December, January, February, March, sometimes April.
Well, let me tell you something. That sucks because I think we was just on the last show. I forgot who was we was talking. Oh no, this was a conversation that I had out with one of the coaches on athlete. Could have been a various sport. And what it was I prefer an athlete that is out of shape but healthy comparing to an athlete that's completely in shape but it's not healthy, which means injured, because as well as a professional, you don't want to risk your athlete out there to get injured anymore or themselves to create a worse situation than it already is. And it sucks to be an athlete and sit down and wait and just be like, man, look, I could go out, I could do this, coach, blah blah blah. Nah, sometimes you just gotta be humble and say, you know what, it's gonna be other competitions out there. Although this might even be senior year, but the good thing about that is after university, that's why in track and field they have semi-pro and then chances to go pro. So it never really ends there because usually you come back and bounce back. But I'd rather do run a guy that's out of shape and that's out of shape and healthy. So at least shoot he do have a chance, or at least a better chance than the guy that's injured. And you know how it is to be injured. Even when you get injured already and you probably sprain a hamstring, the next time you run, you be like, man, I ain't trying to run that hard because I ain't want, you know what I mean? So that's always mentioned. Right. It's all good. So, hey man, we'll come right back. We'll take a quick commercial break, try to figure out some more stuff with Mr. Slaterville, or better known as Mr. Brian Slater. And actually, we're going to come back and ask him where we got a name from. So, quick commercial break from VIOC in action. This is your boy, Mr. Ras Books. Boom!